So looking narrowly at transportation alone, Travis, there are a slew of companies. I think Lyft is probably one of the most notable ones who are experimenting in this space. How do you think about them?
Well, I think they were, pretty interesting. Took a pretty interesting approach to things. It basically, the way to think about it, Lyft basically goes into the markets that Uber is in, and then gets folks who don't have commercial licenses and don't have commercial insurance and says, bring your own car and provide Uber-like service. And they have a personality that they put along with that, and sort of fist bumps, and the cars have these pink mustaches and things like that.
Right.
It's regulatory arbitrage. Like what happened was they did it in California first, and I'm like, holy cow, every trip that's happening, I'm reading the law, every trip that's happening is a criminal misdemeanor being committed by the person driving. I don't think that's a good law, but that is the law. And so I'm just like, I'm kind of staying out of this one for a little bit. And watched it happen for a year, but what they were able to do because of no commercial insurance and because of their easy access to supply, the cost was really, really low.
Right.
And so you could see a situation where they'd eat you up from the bottom up.
Right.
And so stay on the sidelines, go, well, the regulators are going to do something about this. They ended up doing nothing about it, and then ultimately after a year saying, you know what, this is okay.
Right.
This is all right. And we ultimately signed an agreement with the state of California saying that. And so then we basically found a way to get what they call non-TCP licensed transportation providers on board in a way that, with background checks and insurance and things like this. But ultimately, as they follow us in other cities, we now have a playbook, which is, if it's totally just the regulatory risk is just off the charts, we're going to stand back, watch it for 30 days, let the regulators know, look, either enforce the laws that you have in place right now or embrace it. That's fine. But if you have a policy of non-enforcement that goes 30 days, we call this regulatory ambiguity, then we're coming in too because we want to participate in this kind of innovation.